Well, hey everybody. We just made it back to Cerulean, and Stephen, what is it? Cerulean 18 miles from Hopkinsville? Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, Stephen drove those 18 miles like you wouldn't believe. We got back to Cerulean in a heartbeat, and he was afraid I had to use the toilet. He didn't want me messing in the truck, so he hot-tailed it back home, and we got home pretty fast. So, they had suggested that we go back to breakfast, but no, and he was right. I had to hit the toilet as soon as we got home. So check this out. It says fall risk, and I was questioning the people when I went into the hospital. I said, I'm not a fall risk. Why are you giving me this fall risk bracelet? And she said, anybody that has had the anesthesia is a fall risk. Anybody that has been, so to speak, put under is a fall risk. Well, let me tell you something. I felt real loopy. It's a good thing I don't drink, and I'm not an alcoholic, and I don't drink because Stephen says that I was high. And then this is where my IV was. So, Stephen, was I acting pretty loopy after recovering in the recovering room? Yeah, I couldn't even stand up, and then they put me...
She's still loopy. She just doesn't know she's loopy.
I was pretty wound up, and, well, I'm going to show you something that might gross you out. I don't know. If I can get my papers out.
Okay.
This is the inside of my colon. So I just had it done. I mean, literally, it's like 10:30 and just got home, and I just had, this is the inside. I don't know what all those little color things. Oh, yeah, all those little color things match the pictures there. So, they said that I had 2 polyps, or if I'm not saying it right, polyp, that I had 2 polyps, and that those were removed. And Stephen had a pretty funny joke. What was your joke about polyps, Stephen?
Yeah, well, that's what that's designed for, to make pileups.
So, to make polyps. Okay.
Pileups.
Yeah, the polyp can make a pileup. So, yeah, all these little different colored things here represent the pictures, I guess, picture points. But, I wonder what that 20 is. Why does he have a 20 there? So, let's see. They said that they removed 2 polyps and to determine if they were going to be cancerous or not. Well, I've just never seen the inside of my colon. I mean, who does? Unless you have a colonoscopy, right? Who does? I ought to frame this. So, when the doctor came out and talked to you, and was he concerned, Stephen? Was the doctor concerned?
No, he said that he would get those checked out. If everything comes out right, then they'll see you in 5 years.
Yeah, I can't go 10 years. Now I have to go, now because they discovered polyps, now I can't go 10 years. I have to go 3 to 5 years. But, yeah, so my first, and let me tell you, when I woke up in the recovery, I had already been there 20 minutes. I had already been in recovery. What else is in here? I had already been in recovery for 20 minutes and didn't even know it. And due to the long-acting effects of the sedation you received during your procedure, we advise you not to drive a car, operate any machinery, consume alcohol, or return to work for at least 12 hours. So, you may resume your regular diet. Well, that's nice. Because I'm pretty hungry. Gaseous discomfort is normal and expect it immediately after your examination. Oh, this is funny, Stephen. This is funny. Passing gas and belching is normal. Wow. Anyhow. Okay, transverse colon polyps. Sigmoid colon polyps. So here's what they found in me. It says, in the mid-transverse colon, a pseudonucleated polyp 4 millimeter by 5 millimeter was seen. The polyp was not bleeding, praise the Lord. The polyp was adenomatous. What is that word? Adenomatous in appearance. The polyp was completely excised by snare. It was retrieved. In the proximal sigmoid colon, a semi-pseudonaculated polyp 5 millimeter by 6 millimeter was seen. It was not bleeding, praise the Lord. The polyp was adenomatous in appearance, whatever that word means, and it was completely excised by snare and was retrieved. So, anyway, I have successfully, and here's the thing. When in my IV, once they gave me that medicine in my IV, I mean, I was out. And here's the beautiful thing. The last thing I remember thinking to myself was, thank you, Jesus. They gave me the medicine in my IV, and I felt the medicine going into my veins. I felt it going into my veins. And I remember consciously saying to myself, thank you, Jesus. And then before I knew it, I was awaking 20 minutes later. I mean, I had already spent 20 minutes in recovery. So the worst part of all of this was the prep. That was the worst part of all of it, was the Miralex and the Docalex. That was the worst part of all of it. And anyway, but I can now say that I have joined the millions of people who have had colonoscopies. So now it's not such a scary thing anymore. So my next surgery is going to be a hysterectomy, and I'm in the process of getting that scheduled. So that's going to be my next surgery, is a hysterectomy. All right, well, just thought I would share. Oh, the funny thing is that my mom was the first to comment on the previous video. She was the first to comment, and she said, I knew you would share this. That's what she said. She said, I knew you would share this, because my mom knows me, and anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. All right, well, you all have a wonderful day, and get your colon screenings if you need to, and make sure that your colon stays very healthy. And praise the Lord that colon cancer does not run in my family. What does run in my family is breast cancer. Breast cancer runs in my family, and endometriosis and problems with the uterus, that all runs in my family. And that's one of the reasons why I'm having a hysterectomy in a couple of weeks. So, all right, y'all have a blessed day.